The MVP discussion is a very big toss-up, and it's a clear-cut debatable. You have two clear-cut favorites. You know, they said James Harden is an even favorite. I believe Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sorry if I butchered your name. Giannis Antetokounmpo is, I think, a 3-2 favorite or something like that. But picking MVP, it's never been about substance. It's always been about more popularity and what style do you like. You guys can remember when Steve Nash won back-to-back MVPs. Kobe Bryant was averaging 34, 35 points per game, like 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He didn't get MVP nod. And that was around the time he had that rape case and everything, so his popularity dwindled. He lost on sponsors and stuff like that. You remember that. There was one year, that was the second time Steve Nash won MVP. The year before that, Shaq was averaging 30 and 10. He didn't get an MVP. He didn't win the MVP. It's more of a popularity contest and whose style do you like, not necessarily whose value. Some people argue, hey, LeBron could be the most valuable player every single year. I disagree with that. Clear cut. No, you can't say that. But to me, it's a fight between styles. And Stephen A. Smith says this, and Max Kellerman said it because they were both boxing aficionados, and they're big when the boxing was huge in the country. Because we know when boxing was my era, it was just Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? So, and then Floyd Mayweather. But other than those two guys, it wasn't like you got those classic fights like Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali versus Sugar Ray Robinson, and, you know, stuff like that. Like, Sonny Liston. We didn't get to see those fights. We didn't get to see those epic knockdown, you know, Tommy Hearns, marvelous Marvin Hagler, like stuff like that. We didn't get to see that, you know. Like, I mean, of course, we could go back and watch it on the YouTube, whatever the case is, but to actually be there and see it, we didn't get to see it. Well, the reason why I bring up this style make fights, styles make MVPs. The way that you play the game can dictate how a fan might vote, and all the surrounding circumstances. Usually, an MVP becomes an MVP because he has like great numbers, but his team is flourishing, and it's primarily because of him. A lot of the reason why Steph won back-to-back MVPs, his team went 73-9. Before that year, they had like a 60-plus win season. Steph didn't play fourth quarters for a lot of games. He didn't play fourth quarters for a lot of games, and people, including myself, I was like, well, James Harden is finishing out games. He has Dwight Howard, which is not playing well. He got injured or whatever. Why does he get the nod over James Harden? But that's the style. Nobody liked James Harden's style of isolation basketball, playing the way that he was playing. But people liked seeing Steph, and everybody, crowd is frenetic, and the pace is frenetic. Everybody's having fun, this, that, and the third. But one of those MVP, not the unanimous MVP, because that one, he deserved that. You cannot front on that season. The way the stuff he was doing, the way that the team played, he deserved that. That was ridiculous. But the first MVP he won, that was debatable. That was a clear-cut, that was a 50-50. And I feel like James Harden should have won because his team would have been nothing without him. But if you base it on that criteria of success, that's where the stylistic things come into play. Because stylistically, people are going to lean more towards James Harden to be the MVP. But when you look at the substance-wise, they're going to vote for, some might vote for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, it all depends what the voters are using, what metric they're using. Are they using substance, or are they using style? Kobe Bryant lost a lot of MVPs due to style. Nobody liked the way he was playing. His team didn't look great. You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash won his MVPs. Hey, he's averaging 20 points with 12 assists, 18 points and 15 assists. That's dope. We love that style. That's what we love to see. See what I'm saying? But Kobe's numbers, he's killing you. He got his team in the playoffs. He almost eliminated the Suns, had a 3-1 lead, first 3-1 to blow. So people tend to forget about stuff like that. So your style is going to make or break your MVP running. I think James Harden is going to get a lot of votes because of his style and the way that he plays. People love it. But if you think about the substance, his team was a terrible team beginning of the year. Substance-wise, Giannis' team has always been at the top of the East. Right now, the Bucks are sitting at second in the East. The Houston Rockets are sitting at fifth in the West. So that's a substance issue when you look at that. When you look at the way James Harden plays, he's stepping back on you. He's making it look good. He's beating the Golden State Warriors with game winners, stuff like that, in overtime. That's the style you want. But then when you look at Giannis' game, his style doesn't really, it's not that great. It's not like, oh, he can shoot threes, he can step back, he could, you know, he's bully ball. Like, give me the ball, I'm going to muscle you in, I'm going to get rebounds, I'm going to get 21 rebounds, I'm going to get tip-ins and stuff like that. Style-wise, James Harden has the MVP. Like, if it was based on style, which I have a feeling this year is going to be a stylistic kind of MVP, they're not really going to take things into account of substance, James Harden has the MVP. But substance-wise, if they're going to use a substance-based rubric or metric, it has to go to Giannis. His team is 29-12. James Harden is 24-17. Giannis averaging 26 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 6 assists. James Harden's averaging 34, 6 rebounds, and 8.7 assists, about there. Style. James Harden's averaging more points, guys. That's what we love to see. We like to see somebody fill it up. But Giannis is averaging a double-double for the season and doing it where his team is beating the brakes off teams. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Rockets. They're beating contenders. You know, James Harden, they beat the Warriors, whatever. But that wasn't like it wasn't a convincing win. There were some mistakes that Warriors made, and there were some things that came into play for the Rockets, which came down the line and really helped them. But what the Bucks are doing and how they're whooping up on teams, that's different. That's like we want to go to the finals, kind of different. Either we see Golden State or Houston, whatever, but we're gonna be one of them teams that get to the final because nobody saw the Bucks coming, and the way that Giannis is playing is top notch. So that's what I'm saying. Like stylistically, your MVP is gonna vary. Substance-wise, though, it can't vary. Substance-wise, you can't say, like, to me, if I'm a voter and I have a vote, and people are like, well, this guy has been doing this all year. His team is only sitting on top of the East. This guy, his team started out real bad. Almost, they looked like they weren't going to make the playoffs. He flipped the switch, and he's taking over, and he's one-on-one. He's killing it. He's killing it. You know, mind you, sometimes he has lulls in the playoffs, but he's killing it right now. I can't say that guy's going to get my MVP as opposed to somebody who's been consistent all year. Consistently all year killing them. Not just like, well, I lost a couple players, now I'm going to start killing you. And this is weird because I've always been a great James Harden supporter for MVP. Like last year when he won, I was like, yeah, he deserved it. One of them years when Steph won, I said James Harden deserved it. I've always been a clear-cut supporter of James Harden for winning MVP for the most part. But this year, I don't think you can really give it to him the way that the Bucks are playing. Some people are like, well, the Bucks have better players and better pieces. But that's all subjective. Like, you know, because I know CP3 is injured right now. But when CP3 comes back or whatever, are we still going to have that same argument? Is that going to be the argument? Because last time I checked, like, Clint Capella is, like, a great center. He's, like, a great center, especially for this game. Like, he runs up and down the court, screens really good, offensive rebounds really, really well. PJ Tucker is a great piece. I'm trying to think of who else they got. We had a better squad last year, but they don't have a busted squad. The Bucks have a pretty good squad as well. You know what I'm saying? But Giannis, what he's doing The 12 rebounds, the 12.8 rebounds, the 13 rebounds, that's huge. He's averaging a double-double for the season, and his team is like a couple games out of first place. Substance-wise, it has to go to him. But voting-wise, I think if it was today, gun to somebody's head today, they're going to vote Harden. Because they like the way he's shooting the threes. They like the way that he's upped his team to the West. I mean, yeah, from almost dead last on the West to 5th in the West. Substance-wise, though, you got to give it to Giannis. That's like a kid that, you know, through high school, he consistently been giving you good grades. He's consistently been doing his work, as opposed to a kid that they just started, oh, I got to rush and do this. So now they gave him 100% max effort. Like, those two don't equate. Because the person that's giving you consistent play and consistent things of that nature, you know what you're gonna get. With James Harden, like with Giannis, you're gonna get 26 or 24 and 12 in the playoffs. With James Harden, you can't guarantee him averaging 30 to 34 to 40 points per game in the playoffs. That's just not gonna happen. Teams are gonna scheme different. They're gonna play different. So to me, a lot of MVP stuff too, which is back to substance, has to do with, can your game translate to the playoffs? Are you going to be able to do the same thing in the playoffs? Because a lot of people are looking at James Harden like, yeah, this is good now, but wait till the playoffs. So that's my whole thing. Styles make fights. Is it going to be a substance-based rubric this year or a style-based rubric? Let me know who's your MVP in the comments below, and let me know how you think people are going to vote. Are they going to vote based on substance this year or style? Honestly, guys, it looks like style this year. People love the three. They love the step-back three. And they love the way that James Harden is filling up the tank. They're already saying like he's like the new Kobe and all this other stuff. But the things you got to understand is Kobe snubbed for a lot of MVPs. He was part of a lot of 50, 60-win teams. And he only got one MVP, which was a travesty. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe.